Welcome back. As we said earlier, we're going to be monitoring or following the story about how the state is going to revive and renovate the trail of the flight of the Holy Family. Of course, the state have achieved or made a website in 7 languages with visual reality and also navigation technology. And of course, the Holy Family Trail, as we all know, is a long distance route that takes us on location that is thought to be visited by back then baby Jesus and his mother Virgin Mary and Joseph 2,000 years ago during their flight to Egypt as they were ordered by God in the Holy Book. So we're very delighted to be joined live over the phone by Dr. Adel, Fouad Gendy, historian and researcher. Good morning, Dr. Gendy.
Good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm going well, and thank you for your introduction. And this introduction is correct, completely correct. That we have accomplished all the stop points.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me first ask you about the efforts exerted so far to revive and renovate the path of the flight of the Holy Family in this project. That began in nearly 2013, right?
Yeah.
So what have been achieved ever since?
So we started the working on ground on 2014, and we started by promoting to the strategy of the development. We invited all the ambassadors of the target markets for this project, which is Latin American countries and Eastern Europe countries and some of the African countries also, and what we call the far or the long-haul destination, which is China, Japan, and Korea. We invited those ambassadors to Egypt. We make a presentation to the strategy and the philosophy of the development of the project. And also accompanied with those ambassadors was more than 30 international media, TV channels and radio and journalists also came to Egypt, and then we started to promote the project. From the first day we started to promote the project. And then we started on ground on 2015. The most important items of the development was firstly, of course, to provide an accessibility, roads and access from the Nile River, and providing tourist toilets and shades and pergolas and visitor centers also in all the sites. By the way, those itineraries must be provided, and we did it already. And some places will have no access to the site. You cannot even walk on your leg on your foot to arrive to the site. So we provided roads. More than 75 kilometers of roads have been established newly to all the sites. Also, we already promote to the project. We invited the NGOs. More than 5 NGOs have been established on the life of the projects, and one of these NGOs already are going now to produce the VR technology commercial. They are making it, virtual reality clips to the sites of the Holy Family as a sort of promotion to the place and to be sold to the tourists and to be put on the visitor centers to be sold. Another one now is going to make a commercial for one of these sites, which is Jabal al-Tir in Almania. So we started to promote the project outside Egypt to the tour operator. We already make a farm trips. We invited the head of the churches from all over the world. We invited the media to Egypt as a state, as the effort of the state. But the effort of the private sector started already, and the effort of the NGOs started already to promote it and to put the trail on the agenda of the international tour operators.
Right. And let us also talk about the website. Of course, you have generously explained to us in detail the most important steps, but let's focus also over the website. 7 languages, what exact language is this going to transmit to the whole world, and also the navigation technology, the visual reality navigation technology is also very important, because it's going to this is going to be one of the unprecedented steps to document a religious, historical, one of the most important religious historical events in whole history.
Yes,
So
exactly. In fact, we haven't launched yet the website for the Holy Family Trail, but we started to design it now, and it's ongoing in pipeline to be produced by the ETA, Egyptian Tourist Authority. But already we have finished the design of these websites, and 7 languages, by the way. These languages are the language of the target market. The Spanish language, Italian language, also Russian, Serbian, and French, of course, French and English, and Arab, by the way, by Arabic language also, and Chinese and Korean language also will be added soon. So the language of the website will be the language of the target markets of the projects. And also the virtual reality, and more than virtual reality, there is an augmented reality. Augmented reality is another technology that if you visit the site where no assets are remains until now, so you can imagine by laser show, by using this technology, you will imagine that this site was built like so, and the Holy Family was passing by these sites, and Herod soldiers was following the Holy Family to kill the child Jesus. So we will make not sound and light, like more technological than that. It's a laser show, so you can feel it 3D, and you can touch some of these events are moving in front of you. So we are working on that by the private sector and the NGO. This is the next step, or the ongoing step. In fact, it started already, but we will use it in the promotion in the international fairs to be sold to the tourists. So I may tell you that the third step started also, which is working on the what we call investment plans. Investment plans, which is urban planning that guaranteeing the private sector to share in the development of the projects by hoteling. I don't want to say hoteling, by building eco-lodge, by building the needed services, roadways, for example, or rests along the roads to the Holy Family, places where the local people can sell their products to the pilgrimage, food and beverage. The mobilization of the community already started, and they are ready now to receive those pilgrims to their houses. They can accommodate them in their houses, providing Egyptian food and Egyptian cuisine over there, telling them the story of the Holy Family. And this is an added value, by the way, that extends the length of stay for the pilgrim to each site.
Right. Of course, behind every stop that highlights the flight of the path of the Holy Family, there is a long story, and there is a wisdom behind the story, and everything was registered in the Holy Book. Those stories, were they documented also among the project? I mean, is it in the planning that you should document also every story at every country, every governorate? I mean, speaking so as to speak about now the situation. Every place that Virgin Mary, peace be upon her, and her son, baby Jesus, stopped, is it going to be documented also?
Not only documented, it's more than that. The file itself has been listed on the UNESCO sites, by the way. The Holy Family Trail has been announced as one of the intangible resources, intangible assets on the UNESCO sites on January of this year. So it was a very good step. So we're working for it. Several years ago, the national team have been prepared these files, and we succeeded to list it on the UNESCO site. So this file is telling the story of the Holy Family. It's telling many stories told by the people in different places along the trail. And all these stories have been documented in one file, and then we and presented to the UNESCO, we managed to be listed on the UNESCO site. So it's very important achievement because as you mentioned, the tourists or the pilgrims want to listen to the story of the place from the local people. And in this file, by the way, we already introduced the local people themselves are telling the stories, not the governmental persons or not official persons. No, the local people are living in the place by the local features, by the local clothes and dresses. So it's all local, and we put it on the UNESCO site. So it's very important because the new tourists, or I usually want to say the new pilgrims now is literate pilgrim, well educated, and can use the internet. So when he enter on the internet or the UNESCO site, he will find the Holy Family on this UNESCO site. So he will take the decision to come to Egypt.
Right. Speaking about the UNESCO role, how important is it that this flight of the Path of the Holy Family be documented and registered on the list of the UNESCO as an international community? I mean, it's one of the most important steps taken. And
So,
what is the significance? I mean, how does that reflect to the whole world?
In our calculation, we consider that if we listed on the UNESCO site, so by this step we are saving more than 50% of the promotion efforts. So that was very important because, as I mentioned, some visitors go to the to three places that they can ask. By the way, the first one is the Vatican. The first one is the Vatican and Opera Romana, which is the advertising company to Vatican. So if we found the Holy Family Trail of Egypt on the Vatican, so he will take the decision to travel to Egypt. The second is the head of churches themselves. Those people, faithful people, are going to the head of the churches and ask him in which place you are recommended to me to visit as a blessing place. So if he come to Egypt through the fam trips that we organized before, he will go to Egypt, the second decision. The third and the last one is the UNESCO sites. So if we found that the Egypt managed to list one of the most important trail on the UNESCO sites, and he saw it on the list, so he takes the decision to travel to Egypt. So this is a very important part, is to be listed on the UNESCO sites because it attracted more than 50% of the targeted tourists that we want them to visit the trail.
Right. Also, talking about tourism, I mean, all that effort is going to reflect big time over tourism and the flow of tourism, especially that religious tourism is one of the most important venues here in Egypt. Now, how could this be able to empower and enforce promoting for religious tourism, especially like you mentioned, that there is pilgrims at the special time of the year, and by renovation and by effecting a site and transmitting in several languages and so many facilities, documenting it over UNESCO also is going to be very important. Let's talk about tourism. How is it going to boost tourism?
Yeah, of course, it helps tourism indeed because we are producing these new products to find an added value to the Egyptian tourism, to find an advanced distinctive products. You know, we are depending on what Egypt is distinctive for. It's Egypt distinctive for the pyramids, one of the seven wonders, and distinctive for its weather and its resources that is not found in anywhere of the world. The second product is the Holy Family. Holy Family passed by three places only on the world: Bethlehem and Jordan and Egypt. And the most important was Egypt because it is an adventure story. By this, why we are producing this project? What is the national benefits and economic benefits of that? Firstly, this project, by the way, is filling the gaps, filling the seasonal gaps. What I mean is that the normal tourists start from October to March, for example. But these products have no time to be visited, so you can visit it all over the year. So it fills the gaps, seasonality. It's working against the seasonality. And secondly, I called it as a spiritual product, not a religious product. Spiritual because we are raising the ceiling of the targeted number of the tourists. So, because if I say it's a religious, so I'm calling the Christians only. But spiritually, you are calling all the people are searching for, that this is strong story. They want to listen to that adventure story and that hiding and fleeing story to Egypt. So we launched it by the name of a spiritual product to invite all the humanities to visit these projects. As I mentioned, we started to call the long-haul destination, Korea and Japan and China. Those people who came already to visit these places. So we are creating a new market, a new market to these projects. So an added value have been succeeded in this project. Also, the local impact for the local people. This trail passed by the most poor people, the most needed community in Upper Egypt, in the Delta of Egypt.
Right.
So it helps the local people to get foreign currency in the place of production without burdening them with any burdens.
Right. On this note, Dr. Adel Fouad, Gendy, historian and heritage researcher, would like to thank you, sir, talking to The Breakfast Show, and you have a good day. And we're going to go to a short break and we'll come to continue The Breakfast Show, so stay with us.